Okay, hey guys, so we're back and we're going to talk a little bit about stance and movement and working your way through the door, okay? So a lot of people back in the day when I first joined the Marine Corps in 2010, they like to teach us to stand squared up to your target, which isn't necessarily bad, and there's pros to it, cons to it. If you square up to your target, you present your armor to your target, which is good for protection, things like that. They teach you to squat down, bend back, and present and engage. The cons, or some of the cons to that, there's not a lot of recoil management. You don't really have a good base. Like if I rock back, I'm gonna fall or have to adjust my feet, something like that. The way that I like to do it is I call this a fighting stance, essentially. So just like I'm about to square up and fight somebody, I'll get in a good fighting position, drop my hands, and this is essentially my stance, right? So I'll put some pressure on my leg, I'll lean forward some, I'll tighten up my quad, and I'll tighten up my glute and my ham, and then from there I can go up and engage or present and then engage my weapon. So kind of looks something like this, like we're here, punch out, boom, and now I can engage and I have good recoil management. Another pro to this is if I have to move left, I can move left, I have to move right, forward or back, I'm already set in that position. Basically, you want to think of CQB and moving inside of a house just like an athlete. You want to be athletic. You want to be able to move left, right, forward, back at different angles, catch yourself if you stumble, fall. Have a good low base and just be able to shift your feet okay. Now that's only static. When we talk about moving, you want to basically keep your position as well as you can. You never want to overrun your thought process, right? So you don't move faster than you can process information, and you don't want to move faster than you can accurately engage. If I'm moving faster than I can process what's in front of me, then when I get to that obstacle, I'm not going to be able to timely take care of it. If I'm moving faster than I can shoot, I'm just wasting rounds at that point. When we move, we punch out. If I'm right on target, right? If I've got a bad guy or if I've got a target in front of me, I'll use both my eyes, both open. I'll look through my reticle at that target. If I'm just approaching a doorway, for example, like this, I'll drop my point of aim just a little bit and I'm going to look over the top of my reticle. Right? So if I'm approaching a doorway like this and I see a bad guy, I just snap up and I'm right on sight again. And I'm not going to move my head, I'm going to move the weapon and optic to my eyesight. All right? When we talk about moving, we want to do basically like a heel toe thing. All right? It's like a roll. I like to stand up a little bit tall, a little bit back, drive my hips forward, right? So that wherever your hips are facing, that's the way you're going to want to go. That's the way you're going to go, right? So if I want to move this way, I'm going to drive my hips forward. I'm still moving, and I'm going to roll it just like this, right? And of course, speed is going to be dependent on your capabilities. So for me, when I roll up to a door, if I don't have a target, let's say I'm two-man or something like that in the stack, and I'm on the right side or left side, I'll usually roll like this unless I'm on target, and I'll snap up, and then I'll continue moving to that spot, wherever that is. Okay, so when we come up to a door, we got some of that small manipulation that I talked about earlier already starting. I've already got the weapon rolled back. I know that I'm going to this door frame right here. I see it. When you're approaching a door, if it's open like this, you can gain a lot of information prior to even getting up to the frame, right? So for this scenario right here, in front of me, I see an open door to the front. I see a wall to the right that looks like it probably opens up, and I can't really tell what's on the left there just because of the frame, right? So if I wanted to shift a little bit, of course, distance is going to be depending on how much you shift left or right laterally. If I wanted to shift as I was rolling up, I would shift out a little bit, get a little essay into the room. If there's a wall, I'm going to shift back, right? And then I'm going to come up here like this. I'm going to look inside the other room, and I'm going to do what's called a pin, right? I'm going to take this wall or door, whatever I have on my shoulder, and I'm going to push all the way against it, and I'm going to try to see as much into that room as I can, right? So there's three places that is very common to get into a gunfight. It's going to be the approach, so from like your vehicle to the front door. It's going to be like in this threshold right here, and it's going to be inside the room. That's where we're going to want, that's basically where you're going to get into the gunfight, right? And of course, later on, statistically, the second most likely place to get into a gunfight is going to be the last room inside of a building, right? But that's later on. If I have to get into a gunfight and I can choose, let's say there's a bad guy in that room, I'm going to want to engage from this room, right? I want to shoot from depth, essentially, because I'm going to count on my accuracy being better than that bad guy's, right? Also, here I can move left and right, I can move forward or back, whatever. I have movement, I have area to move in. Bad guy does too. However, if I'm in the door frame, now I can't really go left and right, and it's either forward or back. All right, I go forward, there's bullets. If I go back, there's bullets too, just not as close. So what this is going to look like, essentially, is as I'm moving up to this door, punch out, coming up, hips forward, I'm going to suck this gun in, and then I'm going to get as much situational awareness of that room from this room as I can, right? This is gonna happen very fast. There's a couple different things we can do here. I would probably pie here. So what pieing is essentially is you're gonna cut little slices of this room into pieces essentially, right? So I can see from this angle all the way to there. Let's say I wanna get SA on the left side. So I'm gonna take this, swap my feet probably a little bit, and I'm just gonna cut it off. It's just little bits, right? I'm gonna go all the way around, we're here. And then I'm gonna, okay, there's a wall to the left, I'll probably pie back across, right here. Already got this. And now I'm set up. Now I've seen probably 90+% of that room from the outside, which is what we want. I know that the left side, there's a wall here, there's a door to the front, and it opens up to the right.